Welcome back, everyone. Imagine this, all that time and work to make the perfect bottle of wine, and then the unthinkable. The storage barrel is contaminated and everything is ruined. One maker may have figured out a way around the problem. Don Ford reports.
To make a good bottle of wine requires a lot of steps and often some very talented people. It may also require now dogs. These two normal-looking Labradors are anything but, flown in from Chile. They appear to be bomb-sniffing dogs, but they are not looking for explosives.
Moro and Samba, two beautiful dogs that they are trained to detect contaminations in the wine industry.
Contaminate, like what kind of wine?
TCA and TBA.
Two chemicals not found actually in the wine itself, but rather in the wood of barrels and corks. Makes wine taste and smell like cardboard. A few years ago, a different barrel maker was sued by a vineyard for $500,000 claiming contaminated barrels. T.N. Coopers took notice and is pioneering the use of specially trained TCA sniffing dogs, starting their own training program with retired Chilean police officers as trainers.
The dogs have been here for 8 days now, and wineries are calling us to go over there and visit them, and we can only do 2 or 3 visits a day, otherwise the dogs they get tired.
T.N. Cooper says wineries are very sensitive to the dog inspections, say if any contaminated barrels are discovered in one of their caves, it's a big deal. 2 control samples were hidden in this warehouse. It took about 5 minutes for the dogs to find the samples.
One of the benefits with the dogs is that the dogs not only going to tell you that there is something wrong, but they're going to point you exactly where is it coming from.
One winery that did speak to me on the phone said that the dogs also give reassurance that wine cellars are clean if the dogs detect nothing. Mota and Samba return to Chile this coming Friday. In Sonoma County, Don Ford, KPIX 5.
One graduate crosses the stage and makes a wish come true. That story next on Mid-Morning. All right, if you have one dying wish, what would it be? Steve Hartman met a man who knew exactly what he wanted. Here's Steve now on the road.
49-year-old John Raines is living on borrowed time. He has terminal brain cancer, and doctors told him a year and a half ago that he had about a year to live.
What keeps you going?
Blake. He was 5 months premature when he was born. They didn't know if he was going to even breathe. He's been special his whole life.
John's only son, Blake, goes to Billings West High School in Billings, Montana. He's a senior, which is why John wanted to make it to May, at least.
So I can see my kid graduate. What parent doesn't want to see it?
That's a huge milestone in a kid's life.
Pam Rudolph, Blake's mom and John's ex-wife, says there was no guarantee he'd live that long.
Yeah, that's when I realized we have to do something.
What Pam did was reach out to the principal at Billings West to arrange a surprise for her ex-husband. She made up an excuse to lure him to the school and into the auditorium.
He didn't have any idea the band would be playing, and this was really happening just for him and for Blake.
It was a graduation of one, staged for this audience of one.
I started thinking about everything, how much time I had, what I could do. I'm just going to spend as much time with them as I can.
Blake will still have to finish out the school year, but the milestone has now been marked, the memory sealed.
When I got my diploma and I went down and hugged him, just felt so good. It's probably the best hug he's ever given me.
Best day of my life.
How can the best day of your life be when you're dying?
People will make you happy.
Even the worst of fates.
My ex-wife coming through like that.
And John says that's the lesson in this moment, that we're all terminal. We just need to treat each other like we know it. Steve Hartman, on the road, in Billings, Montana.
And we will be right back to wrap things up. All right, be sure you stay connected with us. We're on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We love hearing from you. We'll see you back here tomorrow, everybody.